Good morning. Good morning, CJ. Good morning, Jeannie, and everybody else who's checking in. Good morning, Greg. And Greg had a question yesterday. He sent to me what I thought about all this goings on in the Middle East. And I thought to myself after a little bit, I thought, well, we haven't been praying in the quantity that is necessary, not necessarily individually, but the number of people. And we are increasing our viewership here, which is wonderful. But we do have to, because we are so few, we do have to increase the quantity of our prayers and devotion. And because we're not thwarting the evil plans. And if we target specifically that area, maybe that would assist us in preventing any type of chastisement from starting, which we hope to do. But unfortunately, with the financial system, falling apart based on debt, and also with losing confidence, the go-to for them over the centuries and maybe even millennia has been war. So we'll try and increase our Aves. And thank you, Maria, for your dedication. The fruits are coming to you and as to others. And I've got a commitment this morning. Myself, I've been a little... Your conscience will get, a little bit like, what are you doing? You shouldn't be doing that. You should be doing this. So I'm going to try and redirect. And this particular little talk that we're going to do from the book this morning is actually very apropos. So let's get started with morning prayers. And today is October 11th, 2023, 2 days away from the anniversary of the miracle of the sun in Fatima, and we will be having Mass Friday at noon Eastern Time, the same time as when the apparitions occurred. And I will also be setting up a Zoom link for a meeting for those who contact me that I know. I will send you the link, and you can we can chime in. We can get together. We want to talk about a few things, and hopefully, Dea Matronam Nostrae sanctifies us with a gift. I'm being presumptuous here, but I apologize. And let's get started. In nomine Dei Matronam Nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Let us place ourselves in the presence of God and in Catholic contemplation, humbly adore the Trinitarian Theophany. Before I start, it keeps coming into my head that the Great Reset that we've heard about is no joke. and that keeps coming in. It's not a joke. They are very serious about changing and instituting their ways. We have to really take that seriously with regards to our spiritual life. And really quickly, I'm going to mention, because that is kind of tied into it, I watched this little thing, and I've known about the 100th monkey science experiment, and I don't know if any of you have heard of it, but when enough of the experiment was about monkeys, and how at a certain point, at a certain number, their group became aware of how to do something that was only known to a few in the beginning, but after some time of teaching the others, then all of a sudden the entire population of monkeys knew what to do without being taught or told or shown. And there is that, and I believe that those who are pushing the Great Reset, one of the reasons why they push this is to teach the few, and then, if they can get the numbers up to believe it and do it, then all of a sudden everybody does it. And you can probably see that in the world in the way where they're acting now. The law itself will work both ways. So we have to make sure that we do the same thing. So we need to express and share this information about the virtues and about the Catholic way of life, the truly Catholic way of life, not the one that's being portrayed in the public and for the last 50 years or so, not that one. That's not the Catholic way of life. So let's be serious about our work, because it is a work for Deum Iesum Christum, Deum Matronam Nostra, Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Most holy and adorable Trinity, one God and three divine beings, I believe that thou art here present. I adore thee with the deepest humility, and I render to thee with my whole heart the homage which is due to thee. O God, I love thee above all things with my whole heart and soul, because thou art all good and worthy of all love. I love my neighbor as myself for love of thee, and I forgive all who have injured me, and ask pardon of all whom I have injured. Let us thank God for the many graces that we receive, and offer ourselves and our sufferings up to the Trinitarian Theophany. O God, I most humbly thank thee for all the favors thou hast bestowed upon me to the present moment. It is again thanks to thy bounty that I should live to see this day, and I desire to employ it solely in thy service. I consecrate to thee all my thoughts, words, actions, and sufferings of this day. Sanctify them, O God, that there may be none that is not animated by thy love, or that would not tend to thy greater glory. So as a challenge, really quick, I challenge everybody, and I'm going to do this myself today. I'm going to delete any games from my phone, from our phones, and instead of that draw to go to a game, or let's say a rosary. Let us make a firm resolution to avoid evil and to do good. And let us beg of God the graces which are necessary to us. O God, thou knowest my weakness, and that I am unable to do anything good without the help of thy grace. Deny me not thy grace, O God, proportionate to my necessities. Give me strength to avoid everything which thou forbiddest, to practice the good which thou hast commanded, and enable me patiently to bear all the trials which it may please thee to send me. O God, Our Lady, I place myself under thy protection. I throw myself with confidence into the arms of thy compassion. Be to me, O Mother of Mercy, my refuge in distress, my consolation in suffering, now and at the hour of my death. O my God, I am heartily sorry for having offended thee, and I detest all my sins because I dread the loss of heaven and the pains of hell. But most of all because I have offended thee, my God, who are all good and deserving of all my love. I firmly resolve, with the help of thy grace, to confess my sins, to do penance, and to amend my life. I'm going to begin, but I want to close the wood stove door so we don't get too hot here. Just beginning the season where we run our heat. Okay, today we're going to talk within the main chapter of the Communion of Proficients. The subchapter is Communion and the Gift of Oneself. Now, this is short, but it's very powerful. So let's try and take this within. Deum Jesum Christum commands us, love one another as I have loved you. He loved us even to dying for us on the cross and giving himself to us as food in the Holy Eucharist. The Catholic should, therefore, in communion, learn the gift of self in order to imitate Deum Jesum Christum. The Holy Eucharistic heart of Deum Jesum Christum, which instituted the Holy Eucharist for us and daily gives it to us, is the eminent exemplar of the perfect gift of self. It reminds us that it is more perfect to give than to receive, to love than to be loved. By the way, I should be sending out more Holy Eucharist host to more of my subscribers. So please contact me, and you can figure that out. And if you got here, you can figure out how to contact me, and I will get them out to you. Therefore, imitating the example of Deum Jesum Christum, we should, after receiving, give ourselves to others to bring them the light of life and peace. A soul that is increasingly incorporated in Deum Jesum Christum by Holy Communion should, in its turn, serve somewhat as the bread of the souls which surround it, following the example of Deum Jesum Christum, who wished to be our bread. To the less enlightened, to the weak, even to those who wander far from the altar, it should give itself without counting the cost, in spite of misunderstandings, coldnesses, and evil actions. By so doing, it will certainly cause souls that have strayed to return to the Holy Eucharistic heart of Deum Jesum Christum, that, quote, forgotten, despised, outraged heart slighted by men, unquote. It is nevertheless the heart which loves us, which is patient in waiting for us, eager to grant our prayers, desirous that we pray to it, the burning source of new graces, the silent heart wishing to speak to souls, the refuge of the hidden life, master of the secrets of divine union. The heart of the Trinitarian Theophany, who seems to sleep, but who watches always and overflows incessantly with charity. This heart is the eminent model of the perfect gift of oneself. For this reason, a friend of the curé of ours, Father Chevrier, a holy priest of Lyon, of whom we spoke earlier in this work, used to say to his spiritual sons, quote, following the example of our Deum Jesum Christum, the priest should die to his body, spirit, will, reputation, family, the world. He should immolate himself by silence, prayer, work, penance, suffering, and death. The more a man is dead to himself, the more life he has, and the more he gives it. The priest is a crucified man. He ought also, through charity, in imitation of Deum Iesum Christum, to give his body, spirit, time, goods, health, and life. He should give life by his faith, teaching, words, prayers, powers, and example. He must become good bread. The priest is a man who is consumed. Unquote. What is said here of the priest should be said in a certain sense of every perfect Catholic, who ought continually to devote himself in a supernatural manner in order to bring those about him to the end of man's journey, which he too often forgets. Zeal for the glory of God and the salvation of souls is the answer which all should give to Deum Iesum Christum's precept, love one another as I have loved you. In fervent communion we shall find that generosity which causes the gift of God that we have received to radiate on other souls, and which thus shows the value in the fruits of the Holy Eucharist. We have only to receive the love of God and to give it back to the Trinitarian Theophany in the person of our neighbor. Tomorrow we will begin chapter 26 on true devotion to Deum Matronum Nostrae. God, Our Lady, who was, is, and ever shall be. Deum vobiscum, et quoque pote. Oremus. O God, the Creator and Redeemer of all the faithful, grant to the souls of thy servants and handmaids the remission of all their sins, that they may obtain by loving prayers the forgiveness which they have always desired, who livest and reignest with thee, one God, forever and ever. Suscipe Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum Hanc Maculatum Hostium, quam ego indinius famulus tuus offerit tibi Deum eum vivum et verum, pro inimedibus peccatis et offensionibus et negligencies meis, et pro omnibus circumstantibus, sed pro omnibus federibus, cata locorum vivis aquae defunctis ut mihi, et iris proficit ad salutem aeternam. Deum qui humanis substantia dignitate mirabilitu condidisi et mirabilis reformaste de nobis peruhus aqua divinim Deum, eis divinitatis esse consortis qui eminitatis nostrae, fieri natis is patriceps, Deum Iesum Christum Filium, qui tegum vivit et reinat in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Offerimus tibi Deum calicem salutaris tuum de peccatis clementiam, ut in spetu divini majestatis tuae pro nostra totius mundi salute, cum odore suavitatis ascendat. In spiritu humilitatis et in animo contrito suscipiam morte Deum Iesum Christum, et sic fiat sacrificium nostrum ec spiritu tuo hodie, ut placia tibi Deum Matronam Nostrae et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Veni Sanctificator, Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, et benedicit oblata, prosequendo recepere hoc sacrificium tuo sanctum nomini preparatum. Suscipe Sancta Trinitas Sancta Oblationum, quam tibi afferimus, a memoriam passionis, resurrectionis et ascensionis Deum Iesum Christum, et in honoram Deum Matronam Nostrae et Papa Peter Sanctorum et Istorum et omnium Sanctorum, ut iris proficiat ad honorem, nobis autem ad salutem, et ili pro nobis intercede, redin et celis, quorum amore magimus in tedis, per indum Christum Deum nostrum. orate ut meam ec vestrum sacrificium acceptabile fiat apud Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Suscipia Deum Iesum Christum, sacrificium de manibus tuis, et laudam et gloriam nominis sui ad utilitatem quoque nostrum totiusque, ecclesiae suae sanctae. Deum voviscum, quoque apud te, sursum corda, habemus a Deum, gratias agamus Deum nostrum, dignum et justum est. Te egido clementissime Mater et Pater, Deum Matram nostre, Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per Deum Iesum Christum Filium Tuum, Deum nostre, subitis agamus ac petimus, ut Egypte pees et benedicas ex sanctam sacrificii midivata. In primis quae tibi efferimus pro ecclesiam tuam sanctam, catholicam, quam pacificare custodire ad honore, et regere, dignidis tot orbite darum atque catholicae. Memento Deum famulorum quae tuorum. We pray for the sick and the suffering. Pray for Clarette, Katie, Gage, Mark Jr., Casey, Neil and Earl Lively, Maria Josephina Mose, Henry, Barbara, Benedict, and Robert Santa Croce, Mr. Nobody, the Cantu and Duarte families, Jenna, Lena, Lori, Aaron and family, Maria and the Lineweber family, the Dasco, Nye, Tafur, Began, and Wolf families, and Alex Tafur. We pray for Mr. Nobody to receive the funding and strength needed to complete the first Sedevacantist Catholic Council office in Monastery of Illinois. We pray for an end to all governmental allowance or sanctioning of abortion, transgenderism, transhumanism, child trafficking, child sexual abuse of any kind, anywhere, place, or time. We pray for the establishment of a Catholic monarchy with a sound Catholic system of labor, human value, and medium of exchange. We pray for courageous people to step forward now at this time, to put away the trivialities of their day and focus on saying the Rosary 150. All these things we ask in accordance with God's holy and divine will. Et omnem circumstantium quorum tibi fides cognita est et nota devotio, pro quibus tibi efferimus, vero qui tibi offerunt hoc sacrificium lauris, pro se suisque omnibus, pro redemptione animarum suarum, pro spe salutis et ingulamitatis suae. Tibi quae redunt vota sua aeterno Deum vivo et vero. Communicantes et memoriam venerantes, in primis gloriose semper Deum Matram Nostre, et de Deum Iesum Christum, et beatorum martyrium tuorum Papa Sancti Petri, et Sancti Lucia, et Sancti Jacinta, et Sancti Francisco, et Sancti Juan Diego, et omnium sanctorum tuorum quorum meditis, praecibusque concedas, ut in omnibus protectiones tuae muniam ad exilio, per iem Christum Deum nostrum. Quam oblationem te Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum in omnibus, consecratium acceptabilem conficere dignidis ut nobis corpum, et sanguinem fiat didictissimi Filium Tuum Deum Iesum Christum, qui pridie quam Pater recepit panem in sancta sacramentis manus suas, et derivatis oculis in caelum ante Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum suum omnipotentem tibi gratias agens, consecravit, fregit dedique lumnis sui dicens, accipite et mandocate ex hoc omnes. Hoc est enim corpus meum. Simini modo postquam ceremoniae est accipiens et hunc preclaram cadicem in sancta sacramentis manus suas. Item tibi gratias agens Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Consecrave dedique lumnis sui dicens, accipite et vivite ex eo omnes. Hic est enim calix sanguinis mei mysterium fidei, quae pro nobis et pro multis effundetur in remissionem peccatorum, equatis cum facilitis me mono facilitis. Unde et memores Deum nos servitui, sede plebs tua, sancta justum Christum filium tuum Deum nostre, tam beate passionis nec non et ab in fedis resurrectionis, sed et in celos glorios ascensionis offerimus preclare maestati tuis donis actatis, supraque propitio axere novutur respiciere digneris. Supplicis te ragamus, Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, iube hec perfere per manus tuum, ut quod, executaris participationis sacrosanctum Deum Filium tuum, corpus et sanguinem subsenimus omni benedictiono celesti, et gratia repe amor Filium Christum Deum nostre. We pray for those who have died. We especially pray for Lloyd Cogan, for whom this Mass is being offered. Ipsis Deum et omnibum in Christum crescentibum locum refugere lucis et pacis ut unto gesta procamur Filium Christum Deum nostrum, per quem hec omnia Deum Iesum Christum semper bona creas, sanctificas, vivificas, benedictis et prestas nobis. Per ipsum et cum ipso et in ipso, est tibi Deum Matrum omnipotenti in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, omnis honor et gloria. Ave Dea matronam nostrae, gratia plena Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum tecum. Dea matronam nostrae, materam Deum Iesum Christum, misericordia nobis peccatoribus, nunc et in hora mortis nostrae. Libera nos quae sumus Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, ab omnibus malis praeteritis presentibus et futuris, et intercedente beata gloriosa semper Dei matronam nostrae, cum Papa Petrum Sanctorum et omnibus sanctis da propitius pacem in diebus nostris. Ut ope misericordiae Tue eduiti et peccato, simus semper liberi et ab omni perturbationis securi. Per iendum Deum nostrum, Iesum Christum Filium Tuum Deum nostrum, qui tica vivet et reinat in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per aeternam. Pax Deum, Iesum Christum, sit semper vobiscum, et quoque apud te. Ecum extio et consecratio corporis et sanguinis Deum Iesum Christum, fiat accipientibus nobis in ad salutem aeternam. Pax tecum, et quoque apud te. Deum Iesum Christum, qui ex voluntate Deum matronam nostrae, cooperante Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per mortem tuum unum vivificasti, libera me per hoc sacro sanctum corpus et sanguinum tuum ab omnibus iniquitatibus meis, et universis malis et facme tui semper in harare mandatis, et atinum quam separare permittas, qui cum eodem Deum matronam nostrae et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum vivis et reinam aeternam. Perceptio corporis tui Deum Iesum Christum, quod ego in inus sumere presimo non mihi proveniet in editium et condemnationem, sed pro tua pietate, prosit mihi et tutum elements corporis, et ad medium percipiam nam, qui vivis et reinas cum Deum matronam nostrae in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Panem celestem accipiem, et nomen Deum Iesum Christum invocabo. Deum matronam nostrum non tundignus, ut intercedete mea, sentante verba sampatronum mea. Deum Iesum Christum non tundignus, ut intercedete mea, sentante verba sampatronum mea. Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum non tundignus, ut intercedete mea, sentante verba sampatronum mea. Corpus Deum nostrum Iesum Christum custodiet anima mea. Quidro tribuam Deum Iesum Christum, pro omnibus queritud mihi, calicem salutaris acipiem in nomen Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum invocabo. Laudans invocabo Deum matronam nostri et ab inimicis mei salvosero. Sanguis Deum nostrum Iesum Christum custodiet anima mea. Corpus Deum nostrum Iesum Christum custodiet animam tuo. Quod subsumus Deum Iesum Christum pidimenti capiamus et immune et tempore fit nobis remedium sempiternum. Corpus tuum Deum Iesum Christum, quod sum se sanguis quem patavia visceribus meis presta, ut in me non reminiat scera macula quem pura et sancta reficienat sacramenta. Deum vobiscum, et quoque apotei. Oremus. May the prayer of thy suppliants profit the souls of thy servants and handmaids. We beseech thee, O God, that thou mayest free them from all sins and make them sharers in thy redemption, who livest and reignest with thee, one God, forever and ever. Deum vobiscum, et quoque apotei. Ite mise est. Deum gratia. Gratia tibi sancta Trinitam obsequim servitutis mei preso sacrificium coroculis, tui maestatis in unus auctoritivis ecertata vremique et omnibus, pro quibus irut optoleciti miserante propitiabile Christum Deum nostrum. Benedicat vos omnipotens Deum, Matronam et Filium et Spiritum Sanctum, Deum Matronam nostre et Deum Iesum Christum et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Gracias. O my Deum, Matronam Nostre, I believe, I adore, I hope, and I love Thee. I beg of Thee pardon for those who do not believe, do not adore, do not hope, and do not love Thee. O my Deum Iesum Christum, I believe, I adore, I hope, and I love Thee. I beg of Thee pardon for those who do not believe, do not adore, do not hope, and do not love Thee. O Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, I believe, I adore, I hope, and I love Thee. I beg of Thee pardon for those who do not believe, do not adore, do not hope, and do not love Thee. Most Holy Trinitarian Theophany, I adore Thee profoundly, and I offer to Thee the most precious body, blood, soul, and divinity of God Jesus Christ, present here, in reparation for the outrages, sacrileges, and indifference by which He Himself is offended, and through the infinite merits of His most sacred heart and the immaculate heart of God our Lady, who was, is, and ever shall be, I beg of Thee the conversion of poor sinners. In nomine Deum, Matronam Nostre, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Gracias. Again, thank you for attending and for your continued prayers and support. We appreciate it. We're going to take care of some altar things today and get ready for Friday. And if you have any questions, please put it in the comments section or send me an email. I'll be happy to respond. And let's pray that YouTube hangs in there long enough for us to get this thing accomplished. It's also on Friday the 50th anniversary of the messages to Sister Sasagawa at Akita this Friday. So it should prove to be pretty interesting. Lots of things happening this month. Let's see who comes up on top. Okay, we'll see you tomorrow, same time. And again, remember, Friday's Mass will be at noon. All right. God bless. Have a great day. Please go and sanctify all those you meet.